Welcome to Westmoor High School's virtual Back to School Night. We'll now move to the next slide. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. I know it's a little different with distance learning, but we're in this together as a learning community. I want to first start with our vision and focus. We are part of the Jefferson Union High School District, and the vision of the district is that they are a premier learning community where all students advance to and through. Excuse me one second. I'm having a little technical difficulty, so give me just one moment. Okay, I'm not seeing the screen. Can you give me just a moment to see the... There we go. Sorry about that. Jefferson High School District is a premier learning community where all students advance to and through post-secondary learning and careers. We now have Ms. Tony Presta with us for a brief message. Ms. Presta, we're not able to hear you. Again, I thank our community for being patient as this is the first ever virtual back to school night, and we will work through this. Ms. Presta, can you hear us?
No, Ms. Presta could not. She had her sound down. I apologize.
It's okay.
I guess that's real life, huh? Things happen. Are you ready for me now, Ms. Strickland?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hello, Westmoor community. My name is Tony Presta. I'm the Associate Superintendent of HR here in JUHSD. As you know, Dr. Deloria has announced her retirement, and we will miss her greatly. I am honored, however, to be taking the helm as superintendent on December 1st. I'm a San Francisco native. I've lived here all my life. I come to this role after living and working in our community for decades. I taught school and was principal in Daly City for 14 years. And then I served as superintendent in the Brisbane School District for 8 years. I've been with JUHSD since 2018, and I also serve on the Daly City Peninsula Partnership Board. I have deep roots in our community. We're in the middle of one of the most difficult times we've ever faced. I realize that change during this time can be scary, and we're a strong district, and I look forward to staying the course together. I'm honored to work with the very dedicated staff and Westmoor High School, and I thank you for supporting your child's education by being with us tonight. I thank you for trusting us with your children. Know that we take this responsibility very seriously. And finally, please know that my door is and will always be open to you. Have a good night and a great school year. And thank you, Ms. Strickland, for giving me this time.
Thank you, Ms. Presta. We look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
The vision statement for Westmoor High School is that we are a learning community where all students become respectful, ambitious, motivated, and self-directed learners upon graduation. Our instructional focus for 2020 is student engagement through structured student talk using academic language. And we believe this will greatly help our students gain collaboration skills and communication skills. And now for introductions. If you didn't know by my voice, my name is Grace Strickland, and I'm the honored principal of Westmoor High School. I would now like to take a few moments to introduce the vice principals at our school, as well as our dean of students. We did take a group photo, and obviously because of safety protocols, we did it through Zoom.
Good evening, Westmoor High. My name is Mr. Austin Worden. I am the proud vice principal of our freshman class of 2024. I know this isn't exactly how you expected to start high school, but we appreciate you rolling with these punches and really making this the best possible academic environment that you can be. So keep being successful, learning from home, and we can't wait to see you on campus soon.
Hi, I'm Miss Milazzo. I'm the vice principal for the 10th and 11th grades. And I have to say, I'm really excited to work with all of you. We've already been in contact with many of you. And I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of our families, our new 9th grade families, and seeing a lot of our old friends coming back. And so it's really wonderful. We're really happy to have you all as part of our Ramily. So go Rams. Very excited to work with you all this year. We have an open door policy. Please contact any one of us if you need anything.
Hello, Westmoor. I'm Ms. Goswami. I am the vice principal for the seniors this year. I miss you all on campus. I've seen some of you already virtually, and I hope to see you all on campus soon. So please stay safe and email any of us if you need any kind of assistance. We are just an email away. Have a great and wonderful school year.
Thank you, Dream Team. And also we have our Dean of Students, Mr. Hammond. His photo is bottom right on your screen, and his email is right next to his name. This presentation will be available on our website, so don't think that you have to hurry up and take down all this information. You'll be able to go back to it and document all the different things that you need. Mr. Hammond is very committed to serving our students as Dean of Students, and he has a presentation that you'll be able to click on at the end of this webinar. I also want to acknowledge our dedicated teachers and staff at Westmoor. I can only tell you that they are working so hard to learn all of this technology, create engaging lessons, collaborate with one another. They have been attending webinars and trainings and professional development. And they've been doing this on the weekends, in the evenings, during school days, in the summer. And I just wanted to acknowledge all of their great work. We have a wonderful team of people. Our custodians are making sure that our school is sanitized, our office staff, our cafeteria workers, our campus safety team. We have just a host of people, and together we are all committed to ensuring that your student achieves success. And now, we just want to take a few moments to acknowledge our 9th grade class. This is definitely a different year for them. So we have a little message from one of our students, but I also want to say that this is applicable to all of us.
Love you, California.
Sorry guys, this is Westmoor.
Come on.
Class of 2024, my name is Rela Queiroga and I am your ASB president this year. I know that things are really hectic, there's a lot going on right now and you're probably feeling a lot of different emotions, and I want you to know that all of the emotions you feel right now and all the emotions you'll ever feel are 100% valid. And I wanted to offer you some advice before you go into your 9th grade year, because I know that 9th grade year is already kind of a nerve-wracking year, but in addition to everything else going on, you guys are going through a lot. So I wanted to offer you just a few tips that I wish I had known my 9th grade year. So first things first, please, please, please be your authentic self. I know that we are constantly changing and it is hard to figure out who you are. A lot of us are lost. I'm still lost. So it is okay to not know who you are, but if you do figure out things that you like or things that you want to express, please do so. Nobody is here to judge you. We're all figuring ourselves out. So just express yourself in whatever way feels best to you, whatever way you love, whatever way is comfortable to you. That being said, don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone too by trying out new clubs, new sports, new extracurriculars. There are so many things out there, so don't be afraid to try new things, and maybe you'll find something that you never would have expected you'd like, but you know, high school is all about experimenting and figuring things out about yourself and about what you like, so don't be afraid to try new things. And finally, please surround yourself with people that will inspire you to become a better person. Surround yourself with people that have good energy and that will take care of you and that you can take care of as well. Finally, I just want to say that I'm really excited to meet all of you, even if the first meeting will be virtually. I hope to see you all soon. Take care and stay safe. Bye!
Hi guys, welcome to Westmoor, and my advice for you guys would be to make the most out of your 4 years here because they will fly by. So join that club, take that class, go to that dance, and don't hesitate.
Hey incoming freshmen, I know this year can be a little tough, especially because of Corona, but I wanted to let you guys know that high school isn't as bad as it seems, and that you guys should always do your work and pay attention in class. Also, don't overwork yourself because I did that and I didn't get to spend as much time with my friends as I wanted. So, yeah, enjoy.
Hello, my name is Rihanna Punzawan and I am this year's President of Service Commissioners, also known as the Green Hats. I just wanted to say welcome to Westmoor. Some of the things I love about Westmoor is the variety of extracurriculars you can sign up for. Also, some advice I'd like to give you all is to never be afraid to meet someone new, and if you ever wonder where a place in the school is, you can always try to find a student that has a hat like this. And if you can't seem to find a green hat, you can always ask some people around because there are many amazing people that'll be willing to help. All right, bye!
That's just a small sample of the amazing students that we have at Westmoor High School, and we are definitely looking forward to returning to campus when it's safe. For some additional introductions, we have a dedicated counseling department, and the counselors are assigned by the last name of the student. So we have Mr. T, and he has the alphabet A through DA. We have Miss Collins. She works with students with last name from DE to LA. We have Miss Ann Cassidy Carew, and she has the alphabet with last name LE through PE. And we have Miss Lisa Lee, who just joined us last year, and she has the last name of students with PH through Z. We also have a link so that students can make appointments with their counselors, and they are looking forward to meeting with each and every one of our students. And so we're looking forward to reimagining what that's going to look like this year as we do all of this virtually. I also want to highlight our librarian, Miss Phillips. She is definitely committed to working with our students and helping, she's just an email away. I spoke with her briefly today, and I know that she is very caring and she's still seeking ways in order to make sure books are in the hands of students, and that she's doing all she can to create this virtual space for our students. If you were ever on campus and you were in the library, it was always filled, every seat in that library. So I know she's looking forward to seeing students virtually. So don't forget to reach out to your librarian via email. We also have wellness counselors, Miss Dixa and Miss English, and they have a different purpose on our campus. Our wellness counselors are able to support students through a variety of emotions that impact learning, and students are encouraged to reach out to them for support. We know that during this season, there are a variety of emotions, and Miss Dixa and Miss English are available via phone, via email. They're making appointments, and they're able to meet with students one-on-one through Zoom or a phone call. So please don't forget to reach out to our wellness counselors if you just want to get a a little pep in your step, or you just want to talk to somebody about some emotions that you're dealing with. And likewise, our academic counselors, they created a plan to work with students one-on-one through Zoom or a phone call or even email. And so I just showed the link earlier. Like I said, this presentation will be available to you because we're recording it for your use afterwards, but you can also check our website. And during these meetings, our counselors are going to work on creating a 4-year plan for our students. We know that we have a lot of students that are looking forward to attending college. They want to graduate, maybe they want to go to community college. Whatever their desire is, or they want to go straight to a career, our counselors are able to work with them. We also address issues such as credit recovery, summer school, financial aid, and college information. We are still going to provide all of these services to our students through this virtual environment. And like I said earlier, they are able to meet with students through Google Chat or through Zoom, and students are highly encouraged to make appointments with their counselors. And if you check the website, you'll see a link to make it super convenient. So maybe you don't remember, okay, who was my counselor? It's perfectly fine. The website, you're just a click away. Graduation requirements. Yes, I know we're in a pandemic, but we still want our students to meet the requirements to graduate. So we have a brief little message from one of our counselors on the graduation requirements at Westmoor High School.
Tonight, I will be talking about the Westmoor High School graduation requirements. In order for you to graduate from Westmoor, you need to have a total of 225 credits in certain subject areas, and they are 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 2 years of science, and that is 1 year of life science and 1 year of physical science, 3 years of social studies, and that is world history, U.S. history, government, and economics, 1 year of language other than English or fine arts, 1 year of a career technical education course, and at Westmoor we offer a variety of classes, anywhere from accounting to exploring computer science to fashion design. 2 years of physical education, 1 semester of health, and lastly 60 credits of electives. Thank you so much for your time.
Our counselors also will be going over the A to G requirements for the UC and CSU eligibility. And that is listed right here, the history social science requirement, which is 2 years, 4 years of college prep English, 3 years of math, lab science 2 years, language other than English for 2 years, visual and performing arts for 1 year, and a college prep elective. And I know it's a lot to hear tonight, but that's why our counselors are available to have appointments with you and your student to go over these requirements to make sure that your student is on track to meet their dream goal. We also have the California colleges, and we have Miss Ann Carew, who will be our CCGI lead on this. And again, our counselors will be working with our students with this particular website to help them work on their college and career paths and to help them track their progress. And again, it's so important for kids, if they want to go directly to a 4-year university, to work closely with their counselor to make sure that they meet all the requirements. Student engagement. It's actually part of our instructional focus, but in reference to it in this place right now with distance learning, it's about attendance. And so it is critical for your student to attend school. And so if for some reason that your student is not able to be in attendance, please, just like if it was a normal school year, call the attendance office. State your student's name and the reason for the absence. I know it's a little different with synchronous and asynchronous, and there's so much to learn right now, but we want to work with you and support you. So please continue to call in if your student needs to be absent. But on the flip side, student engagement is we want to make sure that your students are logging in and checking in with their teachers, because it is so important in this environment that they become self-directed learners. But knowing that, we still want to work with them and with you to support your student. We have a student engagement team. So if your student has not been in class, you're probably going to get a phone call, not an automated dialer like in the past. We actually have a team of people that are committed to reaching out to our families to ensure that they have what they need. Do you need a Chromebook? Do you need a hotspot? Are there other needs that you might have that are academic or social emotional needs? Our student engagement team is ready and available to help direct our families to the right and appropriate person. We're very thankful for our paraprofessionals, our campus safety team, our health office technician, the wellness department, and our attendance office clerks that are working together to ensure that we have a team of people to call and reach out to students who may not have been engaged. And we're just here to find ways to support you to ensure your student's success. And important information. We actually have a handbook, and it is online on our website, and it has a lot of information in it. And it's maybe something you might want to get a coffee and read it over the weekend, because in our school handbook, we have general information. We have our new cell phone policy. I think our students might be excited about that. We have an academic integrity policy. There's information about how do you get a work permit. And we're looking at parking permits, and we have a process, and that's currently in progress. But again, we have a host of information, and we encourage you to take a look at our WHS student handbook for the 2020-21 school year. And resources. All of our students, and we have about 1,450 students, we had a handbook for each student, and we also gave each student a planner. So please check with your student. Do you have your school planner? Are you using it? There are lots of tips and tools in there on how to stay organized. Our website will continually be updated. We'll have resources, we have the school map, the bell schedule, and any new and pertinent information. It will be on our website, so that'll be a friend to you, so keep checking it on a weekly basis. And communication. That is something that our positive school culture team at Westmoor High School identified as an important area that we needed to focus on. So we encourage our parents to join the PTSA, maybe talk to our athletic director. We have our counseling teams. We have different groups for students, FBLA, the Daly City Youth Health Center. We have the after school theater. We have lots of clubs. And I know it looks different because you're not coming on campus, or students are not coming on campus. But as Mr. Simon, our ASB director, has reminded us, we're trying to reimagine what that's going to look like for this school year. So we have a team of people working together, like, okay, we can't come onto campus, but what is that going to look like for the new school year? So we would love your suggestions, and please be on the lookout for an email from your local PTSA. And I thought you should know that WHS received an award from the U.S. News and World Report for the 2020 school year, and we received a designated national ranking as one of the top 1,000 schools in the United States. So we were super honored to receive that award. It is not the first award that we have received. We actually received an Honor School Award from Educational Results Partnership. And so again, this to me is just more evidence of the amazing staff and teachers at Westmoor High School who are working together to collaborate to ensure your student success. So a shout out to our dedicated staff and teachers at Westmoor High School. And now for a budget presentation from our Associate Superintendent.
Hello, my name is Tina Van Ramphorst, and I'm the Associate Superintendent of Business for the Jefferson Union High School District. Thank you to the school principals for giving me a few minutes to talk to you on back to school night. This presentation is designed to provide the JUHSD community with a brief update on the status of our district budget. There are two main areas that I will focus on. First is the fact that due to the struggling state and federal economy, it is likely that school districts will be facing cuts. And second, our school board trustees and our district staff are working hard to come up with solutions to the current budget situation. I would like to share with you some of what is being considered. Our district primarily gets funding from local property taxes and the state and from the federal government. All of these sources are impacted by the larger economy. By any measure, the economy right now is in pretty bad shape. One thing that people use to measure the health of the U.S. economy is our gross domestic product, or GDP. This measures the market value of all the goods and services produced in the U.S. in a specific time period. This graph shows whether the GDP grew or shrank. I have included for comparison some information from 2008-2009 during the Great Recession. As you can see, even in the depth of the Great Recession, the worst quarter was an 8.4% decrease to GDP in the fourth quarter 2008. Recently, the GDP shrank by 32.9% in the second quarter of 2020 due to COVID-19. We know that school funding will be impacted by this, but it's not yet fully clear to what extent. We have been fortunate to receive some COVID relief funds as part of the Federal CARES Act, but state officials have let us know that we need to prepare for flat or decreasing funding. This means that we will need to consider budget cuts for the 21-22 school year. Between now and April, district staff and school board trustees will be discussing the possibility of cutting costs, and we may need to think about cutting some employees. We will do everything possible to preserve the programs that have the biggest impact on our students. We are determined to making sure that the district remains financially secure. This year, we have committed to reducing expenses by limiting spending to only what is absolutely and immediately necessary. We are postponing any purchases that can wait. We are limiting training to what is needed for the implementation of distance learning, and we are restricting hiring and overtime. We also will be utilizing our reserve funds. These are funds that school districts are required to set aside each year in case of unforeseen circumstances. Lastly, we are looking for sources of additional funding. In addition to applying for grants and relief funds, we will be asking the voters to consider a bond measure in November. When we get to the end of this presentation, you will see how this bond could help create an opportunity for us to generate additional ongoing funds for the district. Past bond measures have paid for a lot of improvements to our schools. For example, we have been able to get new pools at Westmoor, Oceana, and most recently at Terra Nova High School. We have a beautiful theater at Terra Nova that seats more than 400 people, and a similar theater is under construction at Westmoor. Athletic fields at all of our schools have been upgraded in recent years. Additionally, we have upgraded science classrooms at Jefferson High School, Terra Nova, and Westmoor, and career technical classrooms, such as our culinary arts room at Jefferson, have been improved. We are currently building a new fabrication lab at Westmoor. One of our highest priorities is making sure our students keep pace and have access to the latest tools and technologies. In November, voters will be asked to approve an extension of the current tax rate in Bond Measure Z. If passed, it will generate $163 million that can be used to further improve our district facilities without increasing taxes. This money would allow us to make needed improvements, such as upgrading science classrooms and other areas at Oceana High School, creating new spaces for student support at Thornton High School, upgrading ventilation and fire alarm systems throughout the district, and exploring other needs. Measure Z funds would also allow us to open up the possibility of generating ongoing funds. The old Serramonte High School campus is over 20 acres and could generate revenue for the district. Right now, there are a number of programs that are housed on this campus. Currently, our district offices are there, as is adult school and some other student programs. If we use Measure Z funds to move these programs off of this campus, we could use this property to bring money into the district. By working with the City of Daly City, we would be able to attract a developer that would pay the district through a long-term agreement. This money could be used for salaries, student programs, any educational purpose. We actually already have some land that was developed this way back in the 1980s, and it is still providing an income for the district today. If you're interested in staying up to date on the district budget and Measure Z, please keep an eye on the communications that are coming from the district in your emails. And thank you so much for your continued support. Best wishes for the 2021 school year.
So basically, I want to say thank you for watching. You are now going to visit our school website and click on the Back to School link for more school information and to visit and meet your students' teachers, which they have created some beautiful videos and information for you to learn more about the classes that your students are taking. You may go to www.juhsd.net/domain/10. When you go to the Westmoor High School website, you'll see a Back to School Night tab. Just scroll down a little bit and you'll find it. Click on that and you will see videos from all of our teachers. And after you visit the 6 teachers that your student happens to be in, feel free to visit the other teachers if you wanted to learn more information. We're so excited. Our counseling team has also created videos, our wellness counselors, our Dean of Students, Mr. Hammond. So there's a lot of information. We also have a student orientation that we allow for every single student to watch. And so that'll also be on this link. So again, thank you so much for taking time to watch this live webinar for our first ever virtual back to school night. And a special thanks to our school board and to our district partners for working with us to create a positive and safe learning environment for all of the Westmoor learning community. My name is Grace Strickland, and it's been an honor to be with you this evening.